Hello all, our today's topic is the difference between Python for loop and while loop. We know in Python for loop it's an entry controlled loop. That means in a single statement just after the for keyword we provide the initialization statement, condition statement and updation statement with the help of range function or without using the range function, normally using any collection maybe. And if the condition is satisfied, then we enter in the body of the loop in case of for loop, and then till the condition is satisfied it keeps on iterating the body of the loop in case of for loop. And in while loop, there are basically three different statements in three different places. Initially, before the loop start with while keyword, we place the initializing statement for the loop variable, and then after the initialization statement we provide the condition statement just after the while keyword, and then inside the while loop we place the body of the loop, and just after the body of the loop, basically inside the body of the loop, we provide the updation statement with loop variable. If we miss to provide the updation statement, the while loop will become an infinite while loop. So in today's video, we'll just with the help of a program code and with the help of flowchart, we'll see the difference between Python for loop and Python while loop. Okay, so in this video we'll see the difference between Python for loop and while loop. So we have already know what is loop. If we want to do something with repetition, then this type of program will be called a iterative program, and it can be represented in any programming language like Python with the help of loop. So in Python, two different types of loops are for loop and while loop. So we'll see the differences, what are the differences between these two different types of loop in this video. So first, this is a comparison chart for loop and while loop. This has been taken from internet, the difference between for loop and while loop. The for loop is used for definite loop, definite number of iteration, when the number of iteration is known. So in for loop, the precondition is it's better if we know the number of iteration, how many times the loop is going to be executed. In while loop, it is used when the number of iteration is not known. So it's not necessary for a while loop to know the exact number of iteration. So for loop can have their counter variable, loop variable declared in the declaration itself. So here for loop, in case of for loop, basically in a loop there are three subparts. One is initialization, one is condition and one is updation. So initialization part can take place in the loop statement itself in case of for loop, but in case of while loop there is no built-in loop control variable within a while loop, with a while loop. So in case of we are using a loop variable, a specified loop variable, specifying loop variable in a while loop, then we have to declare it first. In the while loop statement we cannot declare the while loop variable. The third point is this is preferable when we know exactly how many number of times the loop will be repeated. So for loop we will be using if the number of times the loop will be executed is already known to us. In case of while loop, it will continue to run infinite number of time until the condition is met. So in case of while loop, in loop statement we will be giving only the condition part, and if the condition part is till the condition part is satisfied, it will continue to run. The loop, last point, the loop iterates infinite number of times if the condition is not specified. That we will see in the next slide. If the condition is not specified, it shows a compilation error. So let's check the next slide. So this is a pictorial representation of for loop. Here we can see the diamond shape. This basically shows the condition part. So in condition part, what we see here, for each item in sequence inside the for loop, each time after the loop is executed, we'll check whether the last item has been reached or not. That means still the condition is satisfied or not. If still the condition remains satisfied, if yes, then basically last item reached, if the condition is has already been reached to its limit, if the yes condition satisfied, then we'll exit loop. And if the condition has not been reached yet, if the answer is no, then again it will iterate. Okay, so till the condition, till the loop variable is taking its last value, it will repeat to iterate, it will continue to iterate, and if the limit, when the limit will reach, it will exit the loop. So that's the flow chart of the loop basically. Now this is very important. We have taken a very simple program using Python for loop. I have used an online editor here. So what the program is basically doing, it's printing from 1 to 10. It's a very simple program of for loop. So we have taken the loop variable I for I in range. In Python for loop, not necessarily in all the example of for loop we will be using range function, but range is a very important function here. So here as you can see, for I in range, within the first bracket you have provided 1 comma 11. Now 1 denotes the initial value of I, 11 denotes the last value that I will take plus 1. So if we have provided value I 111, then I will take value 1 to 10, and the third place is empty 111. Basically it takes 3 parameter, but we have provided 2 parameters 1 and 11. If we do not provide the last parameter, then by default it will take plus 1 value. So if we provide 111, then I will take the value from 1 to 10, and each time the increment of I, it will be incremented by 1. The by default value is 1. So the value of I it is taking inside the body of the loop. We have provided print I. So each time the value of I will get printed, and as you can see the output, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So it's a very basic program of printing 1 to 10 with the help of for loop. So in for loop, all the condition, initialization condition and updation, we are providing in a single statement, the for statement itself. Now we are going to while loop. What will happen in while loop? After entering the while loop, test expression will be checked. If the text expression is false, it's not satisfied, it will exit loop. If the test expression is true, it will continue to iterate. So inside the body of the loop, while loop, we have to provide the, we have to provide the updation statement also. If we do not provide the updation statement, then while loop will turn into an infinite while loop. So we'll do the same program of printing 1 to 10 using while loop. See here, in initialization part, I equals to 1 we have to provide before the while loop, while condition. Then inside while, after writing while is a keyword, we are just providing the condition. See, I less than equals to 10. The condition for iterating while this particular while loop, it's I less than equal to 10. Then we are printing the body of the loop, that's print I, and after that, this is very important, we are putting the updation statement inside the body of the loop. The updation statement is I equals to I plus 1. So the initial value of I, it will be 1. It will continue till I is 10, not more than that. and each time it will be incremented by 1. So after running, it will give the same output as the last for loop program did. It will print 1 to 10. So this is the program using while loop to print 1 to 10. Now we have taken another program of using for loop, that in a range we are not printing all the numbers, we are printing only the even numbers. So we have taken the same range, as you can see, for I in range 1 11. That means the value of I will take the value from 1 to 10, and we are inside the for loop we are checking for the condition if I mod 2 equals to 0, print I. That means if I mod 2 equals to 0, print I. That means if I is even, it will print. So it's printing only the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 it's printing. And then we have done the same program with the help of while loop. In while loop, what we have done, initialization I equals to 1, while I less than equals to 10, this is the condition part. Inside the while loop we are checking for the condition if I mod 2 equals to 0. That means if I is an even number, you print I, and again updation statement we have put inside the while loop. So it's giving the same output, as you can see, just like the for loop, 24680. So this is basically the difference between while loop and for loop in